guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I might be my couch and we discuss things in the most tasteful manner without bashing anyone, and sometimes we do bash a little bit, but it doesn't come from my side, it comes from my commentators. Okay, so if I do bash you, then I don't know actually what you might have done, but I don't really do that. We do give our opinion in the most tasteful manner, but it depends on your perspective, on how you look at these things and how you look at the way that I say my things, because how I say them sometimes might be a hard take for you to realize and come to terms of, oh well, it's my land, is that, oh well, like. But anyways, let's just jump into the video. If you don't like it, then tough, you can add your comment in the section and I'll probably read it and I'll probably just ignore it and be like, okay. But let's move along, shall we? I was talking about colonizations on my videos. I've been talking about white people and I've been talking about traditions in African settings and how they also adapt into the Western concept because of the colonization which happened forcefully to us, that we had to change drastically our ways of life so that we can adapt to what was happening to us and come to our reality of new norm, basically. So yes, guys, I spoke to a Sangoma about this, a traditional healer. Sangoma is a traditional healer in South Africa, and she told me, yes, is a she told me that the reason why certain things where you find white people like this one, he's gonna tell his story about why this is, even though some black people don't believe him. But the traditional healer said that, just like he said also in his video later on, that his family unalived somebody who was going through that spiritual journey, because sometimes you unalive the wrong person, because even though the healer did not watch the whole video through, but she was like, well, it happens because they used to unalive black people so much so that it got to a point that things were happening to them. You know, some of them are not even alive to tell the story of what was happening to them, but things were happening to them, just like this guy is telling his story. Some of them really have to go through what this person was meant to go through, and that would be like less than 1%. The other ones, just like other black people are saying, they'll be like, they just want to experience this so they can milk of so much money. But some of them, the spirits of the people, their ancestors unalived back in the days, still cling on to their generation for the next generation to come. And we don't really understand why things of sort happen to them. I don't know if I'm making sense, guys, because I feel like I'm going around with this video. But I hope that his story gives a little bit of understanding of what I'm trying to say. Okay, I can't explain the spiritual stuff.
Thokozani. I go by the name of Umkhulu Mgulukutu. I'm a Sangoma, a traditional healer, and a Gobela. This is my story, but before I continue, I would just like to address, if you've got inhliziyo mdaka, or you have hatred, or have any sort of hate speech, please just scroll past, move on with your life, because I'm being vulnerable here and opening up about my spiritual journey as a Sangoma. So let's get to it. It all started as a kid. I was attacked by demons, tokoloshis, evil spirits, you name it. I told my parents didn't believe me. So I was told to pray to Jesus. The attacks would stop for a few minutes and then everything would just continue. It was very intense. Some nights I would be pressed down on my bed. My bed would start elevating on some part as if it was picked up by something or somebody. I couldn't scream, I couldn't move, like my body was frozen. My heartbeat felt like it was about to jump out of my chest. So I got into DJing up Ikase, where I would go by the name of DJ Gamla. I met a friend and I told him what was happening to me. Funny enough, his mother was a healer. I went to go see her. I told her what was happening and she started giving me herbs, muti, and I started using the muti. All of these attacks, they completely stopped. I would then be approached by friendly spirits who would want to communicate, but all of these bad energies and bad entities and these attacks would stay away from me and it would stop. There were even these scratch marks above my pillow where my head used to be by the bed. It would look like an animal claw. To basically try and wipe it off or scrub it away, I tried using holy water, crystals, soap, everything. It wouldn't come off. The herb she gave me, it brought it off as if it was nothing. It came off easily then. Things got better, and then after a few years I started to get sick. I got intense headaches, migraines, body pains, strange dreams of ancient African people chasing me in these dreams. They would show me animals, they would show me things that I would not understand at the time. They showed me different types of plants, they gave me beads. All of these type people's problems around me would start affecting me. I would start feeling their physical pain, their emotional pain, and even their suicidal thoughts. I told my friend's mother about these dreams I've been having and then what's been happening to me, how I've been feeling, and I didn't understand that. When I told her this, she was in shock, she was in disbelief, and you could see she didn't want to tell me what was happening to me. I then went to go consult like she advised me to. When I got there, they told me exactly everything that was happening in my life, in the present, and then what was still going to happen, and all of that did. They told me I needed to twasa. I laughed it off and I left, and I was like, nah, it can't be. Let me just move on with my life. Let me just continue how things are going. So things got worse. I got a brand new car. That car just mysteriously stopped working at all. It didn't want to drive anymore. All of my opportunities, my deals, brand deals, everything just started going to nothing. It was like there was a whole blockage of everything that was supposed to come to me. I didn't get any gigs. There was no money coming in. The dreams became more intense. Some days I couldn't get out of bed. My body was drained. I couldn't stand up. I'd be surrounded by these African people around my bed at night, all just standing around my bed looking at me. My ears started singing like that high frequency, like it would do that all of the time. 3 a.m. side in the mornings, I couldn't sleep. I feel like I had to be doing something. I had insomnia. So I decided, okay, let me go consult again. Let me see what's happening. Because I was very confused at the time. I went to go consult again. Same story, same thing. I need to twasa. By that time, I started taking it a bit more serious because I could see what was happening in my life. And I now went home, and for the next few weeks, I had to process basically this whole new part of my life that I'm gonna have to accept by force. By this one morning, I woke up, everything was just too intense for me. All of the stuff together, feeling my head banging, hearing whistles, all this crazy thing. It was like I was starting to go mad. Then I just woke up. The morning I just woke up, I packed my bags and I entered Behlweni. So as I was in Ipehlweni, they shayeled me, and an African Dlozi came up with the name of Peter Nsizwa Kancube. This Dlozi explained everything to me. So this Dlozi who came up, he explained exactly why and how. He explained that he had a farm where he had been with Sangoma with many cattle. My ancestors from centuries ago had murdered him on this farm, and he was not done with his spiritual journey, and he demanded to do his work through me. I knew by now there was no turning back. I did exactly everything that the ancestors wanted me to do. Ngaphuza ngaphalaza ilanga libalele amakhingane bekile nohlula amadoda abafazi nathi abantu kufa kwami. I did everything that the Dlozi wanted me to do. I did what I needed to do. I learned what I needed to do up in Ipehlweni. I brought the Dlozi back. So I sabela to my Dlozi. I answered my calling. I brought my Dlozi back home. I started practicing. I've been practicing as a Sangoma for the past 5 years now, and I specialize in ukufemba, which is a process where I would go into the trance and bring my Dlozi up. If anything had to be done to you, it would come out. The deepest family secret would come out. Your Dlozi could come up in me and speak to you just by basically using energy and catching something off of your body. Even if you had anything that's attached to you, I would then take it into my body and then basically remove it off of you in that sense. Then also, guys, don't ask me if I do Islane, Stito, or anything dirty. I don't do dirty stuff. I only heal. So I do consultations. I find the problem and then get a solution for this problem to make your things move forward in life.